Here, Northwestern State head coach Rick Cabrera, 108-55 win against Southern New Orleans here on Saturday. And coach, much different feeling from the first non-Division I game when you played Ecclesia about a month and a half ago. And I think this one, I told you that I knew what I was going to ask you right away. It's a 53-point game, and your guys are still deflecting inbound passes at the very end. Defense much improved from that time to today.
Yeah, they didn't have a choice, man. We have been building our last 3 games defensively. The numbers show it. And they're starting to see what the identity that I want them to have. I thought we had it in the summer. It kind of let up a little bit in certain games throughout the season. And now we're getting some consistency. I'm proud of them. We just have to continue it. The one thing about basketball, there's another game after another game after another game. So you can't get too high. But we're going to enjoy this victory. We take every win seriously because they're hard to come by. It doesn't matter your opponent. We have our moments, where, I think for probably 33 minutes, we looked really good defensively today.
Mustafa Loom was a big reason you out-rebounded them by 16, and rebounding has been something that's kind of been up and down for this team. What does this kind of night show him to be able to do and the impact he can have?
Yeah, Moose is a talent, man. He's still learning Division I basketball. He's only a sophomore, but he's a talent, and he came in here at the start of the semester, dominating practice. And then he kind of hit a wall, and now he's starting to get it. And we don't ask much for him, just defending the rebound, catch a little dump offs if you can and get offensive rebounds. And he's starting to do that, and proud to see him have success.
Another guy that's grown as a sophomore. He was here last year, so he's not new to Division I, but Justin Redmond continues to seemingly take step after step. Today, shared the team lead with 20 points, but an efficient 20 points.
Yeah, Justin is arguably our most talented. It's him and Micah in regard to offense, arguably our most talented guy. I want to start both of them, but they're not the greatest defenders. And they try. I'm not knocking them, but they're not the greatest defenders on the court at the same time. But Justin is a machine, man. He has a gift to score the ball, and I'm so glad to coach him.
In a day like today, you didn't necessarily need him to carry the weight. You didn't need Mike. It was kind of a pretty much a stat sheet stuffing game, scoring wise, top to bottom. Inspired a lot by that defense. But Quentin Bolton's a guy that has kind of been working behind the scenes. He puts in the work, and he gets to have a moment in a day like this. That's special.
Yeah, we're always trying to find a third scorer on a consistent basis. Like Willie he's up there, but he's such an unselfish guy. I'm not expecting that. But in regard to Q, Q is a hard worker, a talented young man. I tell him every day, I said, listen, when we recruited you, we see what you can bring on the offensive end. I said, it's something on the defensive end that's holding you back. If you can fix that, I have minutes for you, because he shoots the ball probably just as good as Mike and Justin that people don't see. So it's hard to have that gift on the offensive end not being used, but unfortunately in basketball, the game doesn't stop. It's in football. He has to show drastic improvement defensively, and I think today was a step for him.
You talked about Willie. Is there ever worry? 20 assists on 28 made buckets, I think. So sharing the ball was not an issue. There were a couple of times, maybe a few too many passes, though, and trying to share the sugar a little too much.
Yeah, I never want to say that could be somebody's downfall, because it's not a downfall when you're passing the ball to an open guy. But there are times I want him to be a little more selfish. I challenged him earlier today. I said, hey, man, give me a double-double tonight. I think he had 6 and 6. And he's capable of doing it, but that's just a gift. A kid his size, he could bring the ball up just as good as any guard on our team. He passes it just as good, if not the best passer on our team. And he rebounds at a high clip per minute. If he plays 30 minutes, he's going to get you 9, 10 rebounds a game. So I don't want to, you'll take that away from him, because that's a gift for him. But I would love for him to be selfish every once in a while on the offensive end.
Well, Coach, you can be selfish a little bit now because you got a little break before Lamar. So thanks for your time. Enjoy your holiday break.
I appreciate it.